What is up, everybody? Welcome to Muddy Beard's 4x4. Today, I'm going to go over everything you need to know before you slap 40-inch tires on your Jeep.
JK and that Razor. Woo! Yeah, there's video. Whoa! Oh, yeah!
We now have an official website up, muddybeards4x4.com. You can go there. Got links to buying our merchandise, links to the YouTube channel, and links to our sponsors, and some pretty sweet coupon codes that they're offering to you guys, Muddy Beard subscribers. We've also joined the Amazon affiliate program. There's a link on the website as well. And as an Amazon associate, we earn from qualifying purchases that you guys make through the link. One of the hardest decisions you're going to make when you get your off-roading vehicle, Jeep, whatever, Toyota, Cherokee, I don't know, whatever you're into, what size tire you're going to run. What size gears? What size axles? What do I want to do with my Jeep? Do I want to do forest roads? Do I want to be a rescue vehicle? Do I want to be a hardcore rock crawler? Shock collar? Okay, never mind. Getting off track here. You want to be a rock crawler? You want to do trails? You want to putz around in some mud puddles? I don't know. Whatever you want to do, you have to build it for that specific purpose. Or you can kind of do an all-around build, which is what my Jeep is, kind of what I started out as. And like a lot of you, I don't have a ton of money. And so I kind of do one upgrade at a time, one kind of big thing, one axle upgrade, one gear change, one tire size. I'm going to start this off with the current setup of my Jeep running the 40-inch Pro Comp tires. So in the rear, I have a Ford 8.8 with the Superior Axle Super 88 kit, now Yukon's Ultimate 88 kit, something like that. So it's chromoly axles, makes the axle a little bit wider to match the TJ width, with 513 gears and a Detroit soft locker. My transfer case is a stock MP231 with a 272:1 gear ratio, with a hack and tap slip yoke eliminator. It's not even a real slip yoke eliminator. It was what was on the Jeep when I bought it, and it has not broken or has caused me any problems yet, so I have left it alone for right now. Moving forward, I have a Tom Woods drive shaft in the front, and a high pinion Dana 44 out of a 1976 F-150. I narrowed the axle to the width of a Grand Wagoneer, so it's the same width as basically a TJ to match the rear, and chromoly axle shafts with the Yukon hardcore locking hubs, 513 gears, and I'm running a spool. My tires are Pro Comp 40-inch 1350 17 Pro Comp MTRs, DIY beadlocks on it, and these things are super heavy. This whole setup is like 156 pounds for one tire and the beadlocks. When you switch to that 40, you're going to find out real quick, just as I did, that you're going to rub on everything. Okay, I rub on my lower control arm. It rubs on my bumper. I actually had to cut it off at King of the Hammers because I really didn't get a chance to test drive it and figure out all the rubbing issues. I pretty much slapped them on and went to King of the Hammers. My inner fenders, which is tearing up my tires. You can see here I got a lot of chunks coming out of my tires, and I really don't like that because these tires are pretty expensive and I don't want to destroy them right off the bat. So I'm going to show you a little bit later what I did to fix that with bump stops and steering stops. It rubbed on the frame, guys. So you cannot run a factory TJ width axle unless you're running a wheel spacer like I did. I'm running an 1.5-inch wheel spacer on mine in order to counteract the fact that I only have like a 62-inch axle. So a factory TJ width, I believe, is like 61.5. So full width axles is pretty much going to be mandatory unless you're going to run wheel spacers like I had to do. Like I said, I ended up at an 1.5 inches. I started at an inch and I still had a lot of rubbing, and I wanted to get a little bit farther out so I could have more throw. and a little bit more range on my steering, so I went with 1.5 inches, and that's kind of where I settled at. Really quick, I want to show you guys the newest addition to my toolbox. Motivex Tools gave me these tools to try them out. This is the Motivex Tools 3/8 ratchet set, and I have had it for about a month now, and I find myself going to these tools here more than my Matco, or you see I got a crap ton of Matco here, and Cornwell and stuff. I find myself grabbing this stuff mainly because the features that they have that the other tools don't have, like these little raised ridges, the knurls on here, taking stuff out by hand that lasts a little bit, so much easier than like these Craftsman ones that are super slippery. And this tool set is only $69.99, motivextools.com. This ratchet from Matco right here is like $75 just for this one ratchet. You can get this whole kit for less than one Matco ratchet. So make sure you go check out motivextools.com, check out all the other cool tools and new stuff they got coming out. Also muddybeards4x4.com, there should be a link in there as well. I went ahead and made this chart for you guys. Hopefully it will help you guys out just based on tire sizes and what axles and gear ratios and lockers I recommend based on my experience. So a 33-inch tire, you're good with a Dana 30, 35, and if you want to upgrade or you already have a 44 or a Ford 8.8, great. But with 33-inch tires, you're going to want 456 gears, guys. You want it. And you can run factory limited slips, clutch style, true track, Aussie lockers. I mean, you can run any lockers you want, but a 33-inch tire, you're still going to be good to go with a factory style limited slip, clutch style. So bump it up to a 35-inch tire you really want for 88 gears. Trust me, guys, you want to do it. You can still use the limited slips, true tracks, and of course all the full lockers, you can still use those. ARBs, Detroits, Grizzly lockers, E-lockers, whatever you want, you can still use them. But I say a 35-inch tire, you're still good. Limited slip, clutch style, still going to work out for you. Probably on the edge of the usefulness of it actually locking up for you, but you can still use it. So stepping up to a 36-inch tire, you can still rock that Dana 30. I have, Robbie has, and I never broke it ever. I've broken more Dana 44 stuff than Dana 30 stuff, just so you know. 36, run the Dana 44, Ford 8.8, 9-inch. But caveat with the Ford 8.8 is you're going to want that Super 88 kit. Chromoly axles, C-clip eliminator, all that fun stuff before you bump up to that 36-inch tire. I would run a 488 gear at a minimum, but I ran 513 gears with 36-inch tires, and I was pretty happy with it. Here's where your limited slips, your true tracks, and your clutch stuff is not going to work anymore. It pretty much, at a 35-inch tire, that's maximum. 36, it's just not going to work. The clutches will stop locking up, just too much rotating mass, too much weight. It won't lock up. You pretty much have to switch over to a spool, Detroit lockers, E-lockers, whatever full locker, Lincoln locker, just weld that thing up, whatever you want, but you can no longer use clutch style limited slips with a 36. In my opinion. Stepping up to a 37 or 38, you can still rock a Dana 44. Here's where you can go into your 1-ton axles, your 14 bolts, your Sterling 10.5s, your Dana 60s, 70s, 80s. You're going to want to go up to that 538 gears, which I have not yet. I have 513 gears, and I'm hoping to switch very soon in an upcoming project that I'm not going to talk about quite yet. So if you want to beat on it pretty hard, you're going to want to get these 3/4 ton, 1-ton axles. But 14 bolt hangs down pretty darn low in the back there. So if you're going to rock a 14 bolt, you have to have at least 40-inch tires and a shave kit to shave the bottom of that axle down to give you more clearance, because those things hang down so much. So we're up to the 40s. You can still rock a Dana 44 if you have one of the old ones like I do. You're not going to run a Dana 44 from a TJ. It's just not with Dana 30 outers. It's not going to work. So if you got a full-size Dana 44, then that's built like mine is, you probably will be okay if you're easy on the skinny pedal. Also, Nate has a Dana 44, Matt from Bleepin' Jeep. There's probably a few other people that are rocking 40s on a Dana 44, but let me know if you have 40s on a Dana 44. I'm interested to know. Another thing to consider is your transfer case. Can my MP231 chain-driven little aluminum case guy, can that handle a 40-inch tire? And I have to say, yes, it can. I have a buddy that had 40-inch tires and a V8 and in his YJ and MP231, and he didn't break it. So those MP231s are pretty strong. You might get some chain stretch and make a little bit of noise, but that's fixable. But you do need slip yoke eliminator for sure and an upgraded drive shaft. The one bad thing about the 231 is it's got 2.72 to 1 crawl ratio, which is not very good. So your options for transfer cases in a TJ are, you can get an Atlas, do your 5 to 1, your twin stick stuff. You can build yourself a Dana 300, which will get you a 4 to 1. You could build yourself a Dana 20, get 4 to 1 as well. Or you can get a Rubicon transfer case, which would be a direct bolt-in, which is going to give you that 4 to 1 as well. So there's lots of different options, all of them very expensive. I would say if you get anything out of this, 33-inch tire, you need 456 gears. They're awesome. If you're doing a 35, you step up and get a 488 gears. You're really going to like it. And most people are going to be in this range. A Dana 35, not Dana 35. What the crap am I talking about? Nobody wants a Dana 35. Let's just cross that off. Nobody wants that. Garbage. 35-inch tire. Most people are going to be in this range, 35-inch tire, right? If you got a factory Dana 44 rear axle in your TJ and a 30 in the front, just build those up and just rock it. Unless you're doing some heavy rock crawling with 35s. Maybe. But you want 488 gears. Trust me. So that's about it for this chart. If you guys have anything for me, what you guys recommend, or if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments.
Yeah! Make it look easy, Kelly.
Now let's talk about steering. If you guys think that you're going to go out there with a factory-style steering setup and not taco it on the trail, well, you got another thing coming, because you will. Because you'll taco that thing with 35s. Because I've done it. Everyone's done it. Even 33s. You're going to bend that factory steering. This is a 1.5-inch, quarter-inch wall DOM. These are 3/4-inch grade 8 bolts with Heim joints and safety washers. All of that I got at Barnes 4-Wheel Drive. The only other thing I want to do is make this go all the way to here, make it a double shear, so I'm going to have to weld on the knuckle, add in some bracing on the knuckle. That's going to be another project I'll be doing here pretty soon. And also my track bar, moving it to the top of the axle to align everything. So this is a steering stop. All it is it screws into the knuckle right here. So I took it out and it hits up against the inner C and it stops it from turning. Now this one right here, they welded it right there, and so I cannot use that, because you could just loosen this nut and screw it out, loosen it up, and it makes it longer and the steering stops, so it'll stop the tire from turning before it hits my lower control arm. So I found some bolts in my bin that are exactly the same and the same length and everything with nuts, but unfortunately they are a locking nut. You can see they're not totally round, it's oval, so it locks on there. So I would need these nuts to be flat on both sides. So when I screw it in and I tighten it down up against the knuckle, I don't want this little lip on there. So I'm going to have to cut this lip off. Now that I have my steering stops adjusted to limit my steering so it doesn't rub on my lower control arm, next thing I do is limit the up travel of my tire up into my fender and into the corner of my fender and trim out the corner where it is rubbing. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take a piece of, I believe it's like an 1.25 inch pipe that I got laying around in the corner. I'm going to take the front suspension apart, the coil spring, so I can compress the suspension without any trouble, and measure how much pipe I need to use to drop my bump stop down to where it limits my suspension travel. Okay, so piece of pipe and a really long grade 8 bolt. I ended up doing 4 1/8 inch is exactly what I needed, the perfect length to limit my travel up so nothing rubs at all anymore. I also fabricated a lower plate that the bump stop runs into so it actually has something to hit on the bottom. And I used some TJ rear bumper tie-in, the little brackets that I had laying around that I'm not using. Now that I have the front taken care of, no rubbing anymore anywhere, I'm going to head to the back where I'm going to have to trim my fenders. So I'm going to unbolt them, move them up and back a couple inches. I got to cut out a bunch of metal, drill and tap some holes, and then reassemble it so it no longer rubs in the back. Check this out, no more floppy wobbly. Spring loaded. These are some of the bigger chunks that came off. Now this fender looks absolutely identical to the way it did before. Just have like 2 more inches of clearance up on the top here and on the back side. I'm not rubbing on the front at all because when the axle comes up, flexes up, it actually comes backwards and stuffs up right in the top here and back right here. That's it for this video. I apologize if it did run a little bit longer than normal. Hopefully there's some information in there that helps you guys out in deciding what size tires you want to run on your vehicle. If you guys aren't already a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, give me some comments, a like, and make sure you check out our website, muddybeards4x4.com, and we will see you on the trail.